Puzzle Rush, Episode 4. Welcome back. I am Phoenix. This is Phoenix Plays a Game, and today we are playing yet again Puzzle Rush, Survival Mode, chess.com. I am a chess expert and a risk master playing to get better at both, and right now we're going to get right back into the chess. 52 puzzles correct so far, chasing down my personal best record of 62. So we have to get 10 more. But we already have a red X. In the last puzzle that we did, we took an X on because I overthought it and got a little bit silly and a little bit cocky. So we got to go slow, calm down. After 50, these get really, really, really hard. So I think we just have to go through the entire process from start to finish on how to solve a puzzle by force. So step 0, as you know, is count the material. And it looks like we have a bishop, knight, rook, and queen for each side, along with some pawns, but white has an extra pawn and they are better than my pawns. So 4 pawns that are all each on one file each, pretty good. So we have to start looking for targets. We have a target here because it is attacked and defended 1 time each. So those numbers are equal, 1 and 1. So basically, if we add an attacker to this bishop and white cannot respond to that attack, then we can just win the bishop. However, we are being targeted ourselves with a knight, so I'm thinking we probably need to do something where we like move the queen around or something, or maybe move the knight around with a check and try to attack the king with some tempo to cause things to, the dominoes to start to fall. So we have the king as a target because the king is always a target. If you attack the king, it must be defended. That's why it's a target. So we have a check here, we have a check here, we have check here, and we have check here. And finally, we have check here. So probably one of those is a good move. I don't know which one it is yet. So if I'm wondering if it has something to do with like, if I can get the queen out of the way so that if the pawn ever takes the knight, then the queen can like do something more powerful. And the main feature is the queen is no longer attacked by that new pawn. So I was looking at queen here, king over. Nothing else makes any sense. You're not going to hang your queen. We could just take those. So check here, only move. Now this is only effective move, really. The other ones are just obviously just losing a queen right away. So Phoenix's rule of check only move says that if you can check a king and they have only one reply that makes any sense, and that doesn't just immediately lose a queen, then it's probably the correct answer. So I am really, really strongly looking at this move. So that is a rule that's good for puzzles, but also good for chess. If you can force your opponent, it's probably the right move. At least it's the move that you should think of first. So this is the move that I am indeed looking at first. But there's also like some crazy stuff. Maybe I could like take a knight or something, and then the rook takes back, and suddenly something's undefended. So I want to start with this check only move rule, and it looks like check, and if the king goes here, what I notice is that we have a back rank formation because the knight plugs this hole. So it's a back rank formation, which means that I can deliver a rook or queen to the back rank somehow, and that would be mate. So I think I've solved the puzzle just now by saying that, and I'm thinking that it is probably queen here, forking pawn, and king. And when the king moves, we take this pawn. And it's undefended, actually. And that's what made me think of it. Because when I said rook can go here, mate, the queen is defending that. So therefore, since the queen is defending the checkmate, this is undefended. And so I believe we're going to take this pawn, and the rook is hanging in the corner. So the other thing that led me to that is knowing that in the beginning of a game, the rooks are always hanging. I've said this so many times. People forget about the rooks. They're undefended. So if you ever see a move like b6, there's oftentimes you can deliver a light squared bishop to these diagonals. Okay, actually, sorry, this is g2 because the board's upside down because we're black. But whatever. The point is we can go after these rooks and oftentimes fork things like queen here, check, forks the rook in the corner. So you should always be paying attention to this rook in the corner, and I certainly do. This area of the board looks like the beginning of a game. They don't, if we reset the board, they don't have to move at all. So let's go here. That's right. Now I think we take here. That is right as well. And now I wasn't expecting to get this far, but I'm pretty sure I just take the rook. Yeah, I have to take the rook because my queen is hanging because the mate is lifted now that the knight is dead. Let's go here. Yeah, perfect. Cool. That was fun. Nice little warm up. That was a 2800 level puzzle. So what do we have in this one? We've got step 0, count the material. White is up a pawn and is about to queen it. So it looks like there's a stalemate coming. Ah, that's the answer. I haven't even done the puzzle. I just have enough familiarity with this kind of thing. It's a Zugzwang. We're going to force white to trap his own king. And then I bet you at some point we play like we waste a tempo with this king move. So I think maybe what we're going to do, I want a queen here, right? So that it's mate. Okay, I think what we're going to do is trap the king like this. And then they will push their own pawn and then we'll go back. And they'll be forced to move, at which point they will have to play. No, I don't have to do any of this. Just run this guy. Because I'll come back and mate. Is it that simple? It can't be that simple. It's just and mate. Because they can queen too. They can go just like this. We don't actually have to like do anything. Okay, I go here. Let's say they go here. Aha. They don't have to push this pawn, and therefore this is not mate. And I can't go to the back rank to mate because there will be a new queen there. So I will have to go like check here. And then here and something. All right, let's work it out. My brain is moving faster than my mouth can move. So let's see if I just push this pawn. So the concept is that we're going to trap the king in the corner, and then we're going to checkmate at the last second. So maybe I go push the pawn. Okay, and they push their pawn to the 4th rank. So because this is the way I do pawn races, because of the way that pawns move at the same speed as each other, I just say who's on the 4th rank. I go to the 4th rank, they go to the 4th rank. And an important thing to know about these captures is they actually don't change the number of moves it takes the other side to queen. So for instance, this pawn is here already, let's just say. You'd think it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 moves to queen. But if they're already here and I take them, and white takes back, turns out there's a pawn in the exact same spot with the exact same player to move, black. Okay, what if I take it again? Well, their next move was going to be pawn to their 5th rank, my 4th rank. Well, if I capture on this square with this guy, then their next move is still indeed pawn to the 5th rank. So this is a very important feature of pawn races that you need to know. You need to know that capture or don't capture, it doesn't matter. Once a pawn is on the 4th rank, their next move is going to be to the 5th rank somehow. One of these two moves. And if you decide to take and they recapture, they're still threatening to do the same thing anyway. It's once again, next move to the 5th. So I think what I want to probably try to do is if they push through, I think I take with this pawn. And then I try to queen on the A square. So if they take, I think I push up here. So that when I do that, I queen here with check. And you always want to see who's queening with check, which is one of the reasons I don't want to play king down and king back up again, is because I don't want them ever queening with check against my king. So I think what I'm going to do is probably push this pawn. And if they waste a move with the king, that's easy. I just go to the 5th rank and I have a pawn on the 5th. I will queen first and check and mate you. So here, here, and then here. And it doesn't matter if they go here, and here, and here, and here, and there, a queen, and they'll go to the 7th. Notice that they don't have a queen. It's just mate right away. Ta-da. So I think it's push the pawn. What if they push theirs? They're stalemated. I push here. They go here. I go here. They go here. I go here. They go there to the 5th. I go 6, 6, 7, 7. Queen with check. And that's mate. I think I have it right. I think I want a queen on this square. I think it's basically I need to go here so that it's check. And it's all going to depend on whether or not they want to trap their king. I either queen this guy or I queen one of these two guys right here. And I think we're good. Let's go ahead and make the move. That's correct. I don't think I want to go here because then here and then here. And I queen and they queen. And then I don't have the correct move. That's a draw. So I want to go here. I'm on the 5th rank already. And yet again, we see that rule of pawn races. I'm on the 5th rank. There's nothing they can do to stop me from going to the 6th rank next move. If take, it's still their move, and I'm still going to the 6th rank next move. So I think I'm going to go here. I don't think there's much else to think about except maybe pushing this pawn. So I go 5th rank, they go 5th rank. I go 6th rank, they go 6th rank. And as you can see, we can fast forward to the end. We don't need to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We can just go queen, queen. Then what? I don't have anything. So I want to go this way. That's correct. Now I don't want to take this pawn. Very important thing in pawn endgames, it doesn't matter how many other pawns they have. It matters where you queen and what square you queen on. So I think we're okay with queening in the corner. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and do it. Okay, so in the last puzzle, you learned the targeting. On this one, you learned 2 things about pawn races, about the Zugzwang position, about queening with check, and about counting the tempi till you queen. I'm going to go to the 5th. They're going to go to the 5th. We can just simply fast forward. I queen first. They queen. I'm the first one across the middle. They're across the middle. And now we just queen at the same time. Well, I'm going to queen with check, so they're not going to get an opportunity. They'd go here, and then I queen. And then with mate. Okay, cool. That was another easy one, I thought. Just had to churn through the possibilities. Step 0 is what? Say it with me. Count the material. Queen, queen, bishop, bishop, knight, bishop. So I have the 2 bishops. 2 rooks each. How many pawns? 5 each. That was easy. Now, step 1, find the targets. If you just look at this position, you may think that it's just like a bowl of soup. Like it's just like all the stuff's just scattered around, floating around in a bowl. And it's just, hard to make sense of it. It's all chaos. How do we start to make sense of it? We find the targets. So the king is always a target. Okay, this rook is attacked once and defended once, but it's defended by a knight as well. However, that knight is pinned. So it's not really quite there. So the rook is a target. This pawn is undefended, so it's a target. The queen is undefended. It's a target. Now, what is not a target? This knight is attacked 1 time by my rook and defended twice. It's defended by a queen and king. So it's not a target. Not exactly. And then this rook is definitely not a target. It's defended by the queen, but not attacked. So what we could do is we could try to skewer it with this. But that's attacking the queen, not the rook. So I don't like to focus on those types of moves, although it's an idea. So here, here, and here are the main ideas. And finally, actually, this bishop is a target as well. So, and in fact, it's quite a good one. I just take it and you take back. Can I go check? Because if you go here, I go check. And you can't go here because there's a bishop sitting there. That's almost mating. The only fly in the ointment is that you could block with the knight. So here, here, check. And then you could actually block with the knight. Yeah, but then what happens? Check. Isn't that mate? Okay, so this looks like a crazy queen sack. I want to be clear that I got here because of the targeting system. 1 and 1. So I just said, what if I take it? 1 and 1. Sorry, not that one. So I said, what if I take it? I'm going to come back to that later. And you may have heard that what you want to start with is checks, captures, threats. That's for moves. The Phoenix system, the Phoenix targeting system, it's something I made up myself, is that before you even do that, you take into account the squares that are important and the pieces that are important by doing this very thing. Since 1 and 1, all we have to do is overload that one more time, even with something like this, and that would be pretty good. And then we have our answer. So I definitely don't think it's something like bishop here because we said the rook is not a target and our own queen is attacked anyway. So we could lose a queen, they would take a queen and something like that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe because then the rook is trapped. Yeah, it's an idea. Okay, let me calculate this out a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, I spent about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, uh, trying to calculate this stuff. So very quickly, if I take the bishop and the king goes over, we've won a piece, so we're already winning no matter what. And I don't really think that we have much else we need to do. I'm attacking a rook. I'm attacking the knight. So what I think I would do is just take the knight. And if black doesn't want to be down 2 pieces or lose a queen, they have to take back with their queen. In which case, I just take the rook. And then I think it's pretty much game over right there because the other rook is going to be hanging eventually. So I also don't forget I have this other rook that can come in. So I'm pretty sure if I take and they go here, I just go rook, queen, or sorry, yeah, rook takes knight, queen takes rook, and then I take their rook, and I have a whole bunch of material. So I think that's winning. So that took like 12 seconds, 15 seconds to think of. So what if here, if the knight blocks, we go check, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be queen here, and we take that and it's mate. So that was pretty simple because these squares are all blocked off. There's a rook, a knight, and don't forget my own bishop here controlling that square. So that's pretty simple. My only thing I'm working on is here, check, rook blocks. Now what do I do? Because I have this idea of check, and if the king runs away again, I think if they go here, I think I have this check because that should be a mate. Because nothing can block the check, and don't forget again, it's like this Bowden's mate, I think it's called, with the crisscrossing bishops. So there's that. And now, but what if I've checked and they blocked with the rook, and I go check here? What if they block with the knight? I guess I could take that anyway, and it's still mate. Yeah. Okay, I just solved it. Yeah. I was worried about if the rook blocks, but I'm pretty sure eventually it's just going to be bishop a6 mate. So if that's hard, I don't for you to follow, I don't blame you. This is a 2900 level puzzle, and it's all about coming up with the idea in the first place. I think a player can calculate if they know enough patterns. They can calculate just a few moves. This is only 3 moves: queen, bishop, rook, and basically the rest just is cleanup. It's coming up with that idea in the first place. And how do we did that? I hope I walked you through that. Is we count the material and then we find the targets, and then we just try to figure out ways to attack the targets. So I'm already attacking a lot of things. So I think I'm just going to check my math here real quick because I also have to consider other moves, like what if I take the rook or something. In previous rushes, I learned that I want to, in a difficult thing, if I'm going to throw a queen away or something, in a difficult tactical pattern, I should ask myself, well, what if I'm wrong? Like, just say somebody came along and said, no, that's incorrect. What would be the very next thing I would guess? And it would be queen takes rook. So I'm just going to take a look at that real quick to be safe. Yeah, I don't think taking the rook works because the bishop will just take me back. And then if I go like this, check, the bishop just returns to the square it was previously on, and there's no way forward. If I take it or not, it doesn't seem to do anything. The king will just have the dark square weakness, strengths. Like, once I'm out of these two, all these dark squares are perfectly safe for the king to be on. And I'm down material. Like, if I give up a queen for a rook, I better get something really good back, like their queen. And it doesn't seem to be happening. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be check. King has to take, check. Rook will block, check. King has to move, check here. And that's game. So let's try that. Really hope. This is a risky play, but I think it's right. It is. Yes. Here, yeah? Oh, okay. Well, I'll take the rook this way then. And then I actually didn't get this far. I think I'll take the rook check and then a mate in the back. Well, I'm going to take the rook check. It'll pop out here. Then what do we do? Uh-oh. I didn't get this far. Okay, I'm not exactly sure, but I think I take the rook, and if he ever pops out here, basically we sack the rook, and then we go check. Now, here's the interesting thing. If rook here, or if king here, we don't want to take and take, because then it's bishop against rook. We actually want to go check with the bishop, forcing him to take that. Then we take the queen, and I think we have won the game, because we still have a living bishop over here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we take king, check, king, and then actually bishop check. Bishop, and then we take the queen, and we have a rook and a bishop against this rook, and we're winning the game. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. And basically, I'm just seeing that we just have more targets to work on. And the biggest hint for me here is simply that my rook is hanging. And if we've gotten this far, I don't know that I would have seen this in a game. I maybe would have called it off when I say I got to this position and said, no, I can't do it. But there is one more tactic to find, and starting from this position, knowing that I'm winning is pretty easy. The bishop is hanging, the rook is hanging. There's only one way to save them both. We just chop. And then, of course, I see it's a skewer, and he can't take back. So, but now what if he goes here? I guess I just still go bishop check. And then king in the corner, bishop check again. And then that's it. Okay. Yeah. Now I want to skewer you. Perfect. Either way, if he goes to either one, we're going to bishop check. So that's the answer. And then take the queen, of course. The long and short of it is the king cannot hold the queen no matter where it goes. Okay, looks like I can go bang, bang, check, take a rook, take this pawn. It's easy game. What am I missing? That's not enough compensation. So what if I hit this first? They go here, and then I go check, and then they have to go here to guard their bishop. Otherwise, I take their bishop. And then I take their bishop, they come back, and I go check, and then I fork the rook and the king. How's that? Does that look good? Okay, I gotta slow down. That looks good to me. It looks forced. I'm gonna go once again. I have to figure out does the knight fork pawn and rook, or do I throw the rook away first and then fork? Is the question for me. So I think that I go here because if you take this, I do what I just said. I'm basically going to go here, here. And then once you have a king here and a rook here, it's just a fork. I pick up the piece. I'm up a piece. I win the game. So step 0 is count the material. Of course, material is even. I tend to not say that out loud when there's only 2 pieces. So sorry if you didn't notice. What if I go here, though? This is the only move that holds the bishop, by the way. Just to be clear about that. Now, the other thing is, though, once the knight comes here, it doesn't have the knight doesn't have to or the rook doesn't have to take my pawn. So let's see, where can it go? It can't go here. It cannot go here because the knight attacks that square. It can't go here and it can't go here. So that's the only square. If it can't go there, though. If it does, I just trap it. Boop. That's an easy thing to see. I think any player who has played for any length of time knows that if you slide a rook into the vicinity of like where it can't go forward or backward, you have to be very, very careful about losing it because the pawns will just eat it alive. And it's very often that you don't even trap it at one time. You use a pawn and it has to go here, and then you shove this pawn and it goes to a different square, and then you push this pawn and attack it. So I'm pretty sure we're going to go ahead with this maneuver. But what if here and here, or here even? Oh, if rook goes here, I just push this pawn up again. And then that's fine. That saves the knight, and everybody's happy. I think if I throw away the rook and check, it's just not enough. Because the bishop can go back and guard this pawn. And I don't think I have enough for the win. I'll only be up a pawn. It's a really tough endgame to win. I would win it because I would simply go here and push, take. But, it's complicated. So yeah, I like my first idea. Let's do it. Yeah, that's right. Okay. We thought about that. Does this do anything? Check. What if I just go here now? Maybe this falls for the same tactic. It's either this, or this. And I'm guessing it's here because I still want to do the tactic. Don't forget, it works on this square as well, notice. So here, take here, check. King moves, I take the rook. They take me back and I queen. Or at least I have a passed pawn. So it's at a minimum, if I push this pawn, I'd go through the whole sequence. Knight takes, pawn takes. I push this up and I've won the game because I have a protected passer. So that's a winning endgame. Very easy to tell. You just got to know about two versus one. The simple stuff. I'm pretty sure I have to push this to a light square. You can't go here because the knight controls it. You can't go here because the rook controls it. You could go here. You can't go here because the knight, and you can't go here because of the tactic that we said earlier, forking. So let's go ahead and do it. Yep. And now I fall victim to my attack. There it is. Winner. Okay. That was a 29.88. I have one strike against me. I have to get 6 more right to get my record. And I'm very excited about that. Let's see what we got here. Count the material with me, everybody. Did you say material is even? You're correct. Everything is there from the beginning of the game, except for a pawn. A C pawn for an E pawn, meaning this is probably a Sicilian or something. So, step 1, check the targets. This is a target. It is defended once. It is attacked twice. And Phoenix's rule of the over-attacked piece says if you can take it, you probably should in a puzzle. That's only true of a puzzle. So that's an idea. We also, of course, are going to get checked right here. So maybe we need to be checking things first. And then we have target here, because the king is always a target. These 2 rooks are undefended. And this is a target, and that's it. Why is this bishop not a target? Because it is defended twice. It's only attacked 1 time. You have to be equal numbers for it to be a target. This knight is defended twice. It is only attacked 1 time, so therefore it is not a target. Now, it may be that we need to push a pawn or something like that, but I don't think that's it. And then I think I have the answer. Yeah, that was like super easy, actually. Okay. Bang. Queen trap. Queen trap is one of these things that falls outside the realm of targeting. Because it doesn't actually, it's just a threat that cannot, because the queen is attacked and has nowhere to go, it's a threat that can't be parried. So the queen doesn't need to be previously attacked by anything. You can just attack it for the first time, and therefore, if it's trapped, you're good. So if I go here, the only escape square is here. Everything else is covered. Notice that the knight reaches back and defends the pawn. So right in that case, I think, what do we use? A bishop? I think we probably use the bishop because we want to control that square. And is that everything? Let's go knight, queen, bishop, and then where can the queen go? It cannot go here or here. It cannot stay here. It cannot go there. It cannot go here or here or it can go here. Dang. Guess then we just use a pawn, yeah? Let's start over. Knight, queen, how about pawn? Then the queen can't go here, 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 here. Don't worry, the bishop is defended by the knight in the middle. It can't go here, but it can go here. So then we have to pull a bishop back, and then the knight hangs. I might be wrong about this. Is like the knight trapped or something? No? I think that, I think I just got to think farther. So I can't move the knight because the bishop would hang. I can't move the bishop because the knight won't hang. Can't not block this diagonal because the, I can't. Oh, I got it. Okay, cool. I have to block that diagonal because I need this square to be covered, and I don't have anything that could cover it other than like this pawn or something. So if I push this pawn hangs. Oh no, it's protected by the bishop. Sorry. This square hangs, and I don't have the ability to, like I said, move the bishop because the knight is hanging. So it goes knight, queen. If I were to go pawn, they would go check, and it can't really be defended, right? What if I go here and then they just like go back to this square? Like, it's a perfectly safe thing. They don't even need to check. They could just go directly there. So I think it's actually going to be knight, queen, bishop. And then we said, hang on, doesn't that hang the pawn? And I was like, yeah, but let's go farther. How do I guard my rook? I have to guard the rook and attack the queen on this square. Well, those two squares are lined up. So obviously we need to put a dark square bishop on this line. And we can do that with simply this bishop like this. So we need to put it on that line, right? And then I said, okay. And this is where I got kind of stupid. What if queen h6 at that point? And I was just I couldn't figure this out. Queen h6, what was I to do? If I went bishop to g5, they would just go back to g7. And if I went to bishop g7 myself, it actually is hanging. So that wouldn't work either. And then I will show you, I don't know if you've seen the answer of what I would do at such a position or how that leads me to a solution, but I'm going to play it anyway. And I think you are going to figure it out the same way I did just a little bit ago. So we're going to go here, attack the queen. Oh, come on. That's not the right thing that I was trying to do anyway. I think I can just move the queen, yeah? Or can I just move the... Yeah. All right. Anyway, the answer was after the queen takes here, bishop f6, and then queen to h6 is actually, ta-da, already covered by the knight. That's what I missed because the knight wasn't there back in this position. And so after I had gone knight, queen, bishop, here, I forgot that there was a knight. So anyway, we're here. All right. I did not consider this move. It didn't even occur to me. I think I can just go like this. And then if they go like that, I take it. And then they take back, and then I go take their queen. Here, take. What if they go check here? Then I think I can just take it. And I'm up a piece. Yeah. If I go like this, the whole plan falls apart because the bishop is undefended. This is actually a dangerous thing, and I don't win any material. So I'm pretty sure I have to attack the bishop. If they take, I take, and notice that I'm up a piece in that position and their queen is attacked. So if they go here, I just go here. If they go here, I go here. And they don't have any time. No, I'll just take it. I'll just trade. Yeah. I'll take their queen. They'll take back. And then I'll just move my knight out of the way, probably by taking here or something. Yep, that's it. I'm going to be up with bishop, and you can't save your queen in a way that I can't just take it. So, yeah. Yeah. Take that. Yes. Okay, they had to move their queen at that point. They couldn't take back my knight. So I was up a piece. What do we have going on? We are white, and we are being threatened with mate. Almost. Well, then here, then mate. Huh. So we're white. So we have to do a really good job of attacking the king. Step 0, though, count the material. We have 3 minor pieces. Okay, Phoenix's rule of puzzles up material says all you got to do is keep the material. It's a weird rule, but it's one that served me very, very well. The answer to this, I can already probably tell you, is that there isn't an answer. I'm pretty sure we're just going to go check, and then they're going to do something like pull the knight back, and that's the end of the puzzle. Because there's no longer a threat. We're just going to defend the mate somehow. Like, we'll just play like, I don't know, queen here or something. The mate is guarded, the mate is defended, and then we're all happy and we keep the material. Am I hallucinating, or are we up a piece? I'm pretty sure we're up a piece. Yeah. Yeah. So no problem. All right. What if I just like take here and they take back check? Then I have to go here. And then they go check here. Oh, they use the rook. They go rook check and then king here. And then what? Queen here. Check. And then king has to pop out. And then we lose a rook. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Phoenix's rule says all you have to do is get out of trouble and keep your material. That's the rule of starting up a piece. We are up a piece already. All we have to do is not lose the piece. And this is actually great practice for a real game when you're up material. How do you close it? How do you close it out is you just simply have to keep your material. So what if I go like this check? Not check, but attacking the queen. You can't go here because actually the knight covers that. Oh, you can't. I'll lose it. I'll lose the piece. Yeah, it's got to be this. Check, take the knight. So the only way for black to do anything about this is to go like this. And then I think we're okay. We just simply, what we cannot do is play, if queen here, knight here, we cannot take this knight because actually it's mate right away. These ones where you're up material are very, very difficult, but because you're going to spend a lot of time looking for a solution isn't there. I don't think there's anything else. Check, knight goes back, end of puzzle. White is up a bishop. I gotta keep looking around though. So this is kind of frustrating for me because this is one of those things that only gets experienced through puzzles. Because this has nothing really to do with chess, I guess. Normal chess is just played. Yeah, of course, we want to trade down material when we've already won a piece and things like that. So yes, that's fair. But when you're doing puzzles, you don't expect to just have a puzzle where nothing happens. And I do think that's exactly what this is. But I'm so scared to do that. So I'm spending my time trying to think like, what if knight back and what if knight here? We already said the bishop takes that one, but this mate is threatened. But I just think this is super forcing. I just check. I'm threatening to trade off a piece and guard my own king because don't forget, we got this mate threat. So we have to do something. And once the knight comes back, we just defend the mate in the only way that we can, right? Why can't I play here? Oh, duh. The knight is still there. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I go here, here. I have to defend the mate. I can't go here, here because of the minor pieces. So I go here and that's it. And it's a dumb puzzle and nothing ever happened. I'm tired of looking at it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I think I spent probably 4 minutes looking at this on pause and there isn't anything. Nothing happens here. Oh, wait. Yeah. Here, right? Can't go here. Can't go here. Can't go here because mate. Have to guard the mate. What if I just like move the bishop out of the way? Then it's mate here. If I move the bishop, it's mate here. If I do nothing, it's mate here. This is the only move. What? Yeah. I have to go here. Or, I mean, the black is threatening to go here, so obviously I just take that. Right? Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Literally nothing happened in that puzzle. We just... Okay. Yeah. Those are not fun for me, I don't think. I don't think they're very fun. That doesn't seem like a tactic at all. So I think we have made great progress here. We were on 52 and we're at 58. So that's 6 puzzles. That's more than halfway to my goal. I think we are going to take a pause here. I'm a bit tired of looking at these tonight. I get things to do. So, but I like that. And if you like chess puzzles, definitely hit the like button. I have not sent these to subscribers yet. I don't plan to do that. It seems to, for some reason, not work very well for the success of these videos. And I want to send a special thank you to the people who have left me comments, particularly saying, good job, keep going, keep trying, because I was about to stop making these videos, start doing these just for my own personal enjoyment. But it seems like, because I didn't think anybody was watching these. One of these videos got 1 view. So I really appreciate those people who've commented on these channels about liking these videos. And I hope you do go hit the like button too, spread this around, help other people to find some educational content. Sometimes we get too sucked into finding chess content that is like popcorny, right? It's fun, you know, it's entertainment, but it isn't helping us to get better. I do hope that I'm helping you get better. So I had fun. I hope you had fun. I hope you hit the like button. I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope you watch the next one, and I'll see you for the next one.